welcome to the show, Lise Huber, known also as your professional name, Lil Maxine. You're based in Bristol, originally from Vienna, Austria. You are a jazz vocalist, pianist, and songwriter with a mellow and soulful sound, telling timeless stories of love and hope. You had a debut album in 2016, which was A Little Girl's Love Songs, and you're quoted as having an unmistakable sound, leaving your audiences spellbound. So that's quite an accolade to be known by. So it's brilliant to have you on the show with us, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do tell us more.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And Skyler and Tom, both of you, thanks for having me on your show today.
Thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure. So you just mentioned, so my debut album, that's a while ago, actually. That was in 2016. That was a really, really big thing for me because it was the moment where I basically declared myself officially as a songwriter and pianist, and vocalist. Which was very powerful. And these songs I wrote, I've been come from a reflection about where I come from, and these songs have been like a very personal journey for me, in a way that I needed something. I don't know if you know that, like if you have that for yourself with music, but I know from many people I make music with, or from other artists, that their songs and the music become like a go-to place where you can, find yourself.
Yeah.
In those songs. So they are basically like you can go in there and express your feelings, your hurt, your fear, your worries, your hopes,
positivity,
anything. So basically embrace the human condition, of being.
Yeah.
And yeah.
If you have that kind of power, though, if you have that kind of power that you can write that, you can write some songs that's going to be inspirational for us all, right? If we get the younger generation involved in positive, powerful lyrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It changes everything, because it's something that's not pumped to them. There's no genre for it. You know what I mean? There's no platform for it. So the more I can inspire people to write more social conscious songs, they don't have to be about issues at all, right? Mm-hmm. But something that's going to lift us up, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. What for me is like when I think about my songs, they're like, someone really, really lovely, in a lovely way, described it once. Like, he said, for me, your music is like a mirror of empathy, in times where it's most needed. So it's about, often when I write, I don't like name things the way, but they're like an outcome of a reflection, or where it's about like embracing the inside world, all like your feelings, because in our world it's very cold. It can be cold. So we need to connect with our feelings, with our emotions. So that's where I come from. So, and where my music comes from, it's about connection with your emotions, and then saying I embrace that, and it's a healing in a way, like becoming whole in yourself, so that whatever you express, it's no question of genre, it's a question of authenticity and truth within. So and I wish for the generations to come, already the artists that there are already like becoming artists, young people, for everyone to look beyond genres and beyond, like certain stereotypes, and really become true.
Yeah, that's good. And we're going to be throwing festivals pretty soon, right? Mm-hmm. All around positive, social conscious music.
I love that.
Right. That's what it's a movement, and I've been after this dream for 20 years. Look, the negative people don't want people to start talking about life ain't that bad, right? They don't want you to start talking like that. See, do you notice when our parents sent us to school, they sent us to learn to work for somebody else, right? They don't teach you to go work for yourself. It's all about what are you going to be? You're going to be a lawyer, whatever it is, right? They put you in that position, but you know what? When it comes to music, it's a little different, right? Because I mean, what would you rather spend? Do you like recording more than you do live music? Uh-oh.
That's obviously a big question.
That's a big question. You know what? I love performing. I really love it because it's just like then it's that connection you can make with your audience. Then that's a completely other experience, I feel like, or when you go in the studio and you're working on your, it's like a painter who goes in the studio and just works
what colors am I going to use, all that stuff. Yeah.
And then you take it and exhibit it, and that's another, like, it's another level or experience. The writing as well, like the inspiration, the moment of, like, I don't know, sometimes I don't have an idea, but just kind of like feeling that the life around me or anything
comes through you.
It comes, it's gonna come. So it will find its way. So
that's right.
And that's also beautiful.
That's why we do it. I tell people all the time, don't mess around with music, right? Either you want to put yourself all the way in. Don't come in and dip in your toe, right? You know, go all the way in. You know, music is for everybody. It's not just for somebody.
Oh, I love that. Don't tip your toe. Like, just immerse. Like,
all in.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, it doesn't matter what it's 12 notes. It doesn't matter what genre it is. It's all beautiful if you're open. Because you'll find people. Well, I only play this kind of music. I only play that kind of music. Well, you're cutting yourself off from the other beautiful things going on in the 12 notes.
Very true. Very true.
Or the quarter notes in between.
Exactly. Whatever you got to get to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I work a lot with improvisation, so also I teach quite a lot. So over the last years I started teaching. So and improvisation is a big part in my teaching. So so I invite my students to go on a, you know, it's like you have to embrace a lot that very moment and your idea in the very moment, and learn to also listen for these things that come up, and they're not a matter of genre, they're a matter of like the music that you are open to, and you're readying yourself for that.
You know what? You don't think about anything when you start writing or playing or you're on stage. You don't think about anything else. I don't care what went on in the day, none of that stuff. When you're up to performing in front of music lovers is the most delightful experience you could ever have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Just a question I have for you, Lisa. Well, first of all, how did you start out with regards specifically to jazz or the jazz element? Is that something that the kind of music you've always just were interested in, or why jazz particularly for you?
Yeah. So I think my interest for jazz started kind of early. That I was around like 16 years old. So before you know, my parents, they had quite an eclectic music collection. Like, I mean, they had a lot of different things in their like CDs, or vinyl, first vinyl and then CDs, and then and it was in the car as well. Like, we had lots of music. So I listened to anything. Like, there was classical music, there was pop, jazz, rock, folk, you know, all the classics as well. Right. I mean, they come from they are like, they were born in the 60s, so they grew up like, you know, they're open. Yeah. that's like, yeah. So, and my grandfather used to play the piano a lot at home, so I would watch him for hours play, and that was just really, really interesting for me. And that was like more operetta or classic things. So, but then at 16, somehow jazz just like, I don't know, I remember there was this one album in my parents' collection that just it just caught my ear, and I just couldn't stop listening to it. So I played it all over and over again. Oops.
What record was that?
Yeah, what album was
that was Grover Washington. All My Tomorrows. Yeah, it was yeah. I just loved it, like the horns. He had like these like more horns, and I know exactly how it started, opens, and then
70s. That's the 70s.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I think it was a bit of a later album though, but very ballady, not funky. So not the funky stuff, but and then I just like tried to learn a lot about jazz, and I just like I couldn't get enough of it. So yeah, and that's
I
how
love it
happened.
because I love it because that music is from another country, right?
Yeah.
When I said music is not just for somebody, like a lot of times, well, I got some friends in their own country. Their country won't promote them outside of where they are. I got some buddies, 10 million people in Portugal, right? And they're the top band, but they don't push them to the other nations to let them see why you're in love with them. They about 3 years ago, they came in number 3 in Eurovision. Right, so that's good.
That's big. Yeah,
that's big, right?
Yeah. You know, when we met, so that was actually just the time when just after I'd moved to Bristol, and you came to the house where we stayed. And you just like went into that songwriting, like you went into the songwriting mode, and it was so great watching you and being a witness of how the song just like emerged. And then I really enjoyed contributing to that with singing backing vocals. So that was really a pleasure.
Having all of that, and having my friend come in and play them keyboards on there, right?
What record was that?
He took Equals, the song I wrote about racism. And Lise and I sang all the vocals on it. It's beautiful.
You made me sing all the.
Oh man,
I learned a lot about singing backing vocals there.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm like you. It's a mosaic. You just let it happen, right? And I just create from that stage. Like the song you playing on for me right now, "Smoking to Free My Pain," right?
Oh yeah.
It's just an idea. It's just an idea, right? But listen, I want to thank you for coming on our show. I love you, sister.
Great. Love you too, Skyler. Great to be here, and great to know you're here.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.